What is up, Batman fans? I'm Tommy from Z&D Comics, and welcome to episode 20 of Prepping for Batman Arkham Knight. And I apologize for not really uploading too many Arkham Knight videos recently because the game got delayed till June 2nd. That's 6 months later than it was originally going to be coming out. So really, why would I just keep on bringing out so many videos if it's got like a 6-month delay? So don't worry, Prepping for Batman Arkham Knight is not ending. It's just going to be getting a little bit more of a break. So today I'll be talking about pretty much all the vehicles that we could or are already going to be seeing in Batman Arkham Knight. So let's start out with the Batmobile. We do know that the Batmobile is a huge part of the game. Okay, we've seen the gameplay trailer. We have seen sometimes, I don't know if all you saw the demo, it was leaked, but in the demo, literally 50-60% of the demo is Batman in the Batmobile, and it's awesome. I mean, the Batmobile can do so much. It has two different modes, the battle mode, the original mode. It has a turret, and all the weapons on the actual Batmobile can actually kill someone. They're usually just kind of like stun them or really hurt them pretty badly, but nothing is deadly. Now, there's nothing. Batman still sticks to his original rule, no guns. So, but pretty much the Batmobile can do anything. It can break down doors. It has a grappling hook that can pretty much move any object that you need to do. It goes fast. It takes you where you need to be because the map is 5 times the size. So sort of like how Arkham Origins had the Batwing, which was kind of like cheap. It was kind of just like, oh, teleport to that position. That's kind of like what the Batmobile is doing, but you can actually move around Gotham City. So I'm wondering what they're going to be doing with paths that like the Batmobile can't fit through, because you think about it, in Arkham City, there's times that we went underground. There's times that, like, for instance, when we had to fight off Ra's al Ghul, we were in like Wonder City and everything. Like, you can't summon the Batmobile underground. So there's probably gonna be lots of times in the game where you won't be able to use the Batmobile at all, but maybe you could use perhaps like a motorcycle. But then again, where would a motorcycle randomly come out underground, especially when you're in the sewers and everything? So you got to keep in mind that the Batmobile isn't the whole game, you know. It's only going to be parts of the game where you're technically outside and not underground or in a building or anything like that. So my guess is that most of this game is going to be taken outside, a lot more of like on the streets of Gotham itself. So that's going to be interesting to see that, because we usually don't see that much in the Arkham games. But anyway, let's talk about other vehicles that could be in the game, because if Batmobile is going to have his vehicle to, you know, move around Gotham City, what are the other playables that are going to be roamable? Like, for instance, let's say Nightwing, Robin, and Catwoman are roamable around Arkham Knight. Like, where are they going to go? I mean, like, are they just going to have to walk or grapple everywhere? Because that would be pretty boring. So, yeah, when you think about it, pretty much every playable character who is roamable should have some sort of vehicle to use. So, let's go off the characters who are already roamable, or already playable at least, and that is Red Hood and Harley Quinn. It's not confirmed if these characters are roamable. I really hope they are, because it's fun to play as these characters in, like, you know, the challenge maps and possibly like a little bit of a story, but like we want to see these characters like physically like be able to do whatever you want with them, you know, have their own side missions, or just be able to play with them after the game, because we do know that these characters are going to have story packs, which is kind of like how Catwoman had in Arkham City. But I can see them having a story pack but not having a vehicle to use, because possibly their story only takes place in underground or in a building or in only like a section of the map itself. So when you think about it, it's like, well, what's really going on? But when you think about it again, Catwoman was roamable in Arkham City because she had a story pack. Because if you have a story pack, you don't usually always follow the story. You can kind of break away from the story and do whatever you want. It's kind of like GTA. So they kind of have to have some sort of vehicle. So what vehicle would Harley Quinn and Red Hood have? Now, the one vehicle, the one actual thing that I can think of that pretty much any character can use is a motorcycle. I can see any playable character riding a motorcycle. The only character I can't see is a character who's like a villain. Like, I can't see Killer Croc or Bane or the Joker riding a motorcycle, but I can easily see Red Hood, Nightwing, Catwoman, Harley Quinn riding a motorcycle, because they do it in the comics. I mean, Robin, just a Batman and Robin comic, the Futures End comic that I literally just read, had a Robin motorcycle that looked beyond badass. So possibly something like that could be introduced in the game, when perhaps Robin could be a roamable character. So let's talk about Red Hood and Harley Quinn. Now, I did read a comment on one of my past videos saying that Harley Quinn should have like a decked out police car as her rideable vehicle, and I thought that sounded badass. You know, there's going to be a lot of vacant cars just lying around the Gotham City, because the whole city itself got like evacuated. No one's in the city anymore. So you think maybe Harley Quinn spray painted, you know, a cop car, made it look really cool, and she rides that around. Now the only problem I have with that is it's just a cop car. There's nothing, no advanced tools to it. I mean, I guess they could say that she tricked it out enough to the fact that it almost is like a Batmobile where it has a gun and everything attached to it, but that wouldn't really make any sense, and the Arkham games sort of make lots of sense. So I really don't think that would work, just because let's say you want to go up a building or, like, you know, go up steps and break through something. Like a cop car can't really do that, you know, it would just break down. But if Harley Quinn had a motorcycle, for instance, a motorcycle that she has used before, like that is already decked out, maybe you can have turrets on the side, actual weapons, its own version of like a grappling hook, and it can do things like that. Maybe you can scale up a building or something. So that's something that makes more sense, because it would have that technology to where it can go anywhere it really needs to, but a cop car can't really do that, you know. So I can see Red Hood also riding a motorcycle, and I can see Harley Quinn riding a motorcycle, but possibly we won't be getting motorcycles. Maybe these characters can have a helicopter, a plane, or a flying vehicle. Now that's going to bring me back to Batman and possibly the Batwing. So to finish off on Red Hood and Harley Quinn, I think they're going to have some sort of motorcycle. Red Hood could possibly have its own car, but I'll get into that later. So the Batwing. The Batwing was introduced in Batman Arkham Origins, but it was kind of a letdown. I mean, it looked cool when it was in the, you know, the Batcave, but that's pretty much all it was. It was just there. And when you rode it, it was just a short little animation that really didn't look that cool. I mean, the Batwing looked like an F-16 or an F-20. Like, those are actual military planes. It looked plain. It didn't really resemble too much of a bat. And you saw Batman inside of it, so it was kind of cool, but you know, when you can't actually do something with the plane, when you just kind of see it fly by, there's no fun involved. So possibly the Batwing could be in this game. The only reason I feel like it won't be is because then they'll have the problem to deal with, like, well, why would you use the Batmobile if you can just fly everywhere? You know, so maybe you can have the Batwing, but it's not like how Arkham Origins where you kind of just get it picked up. The Batwing could be in the game, but only to go to certain places like perhaps Arkham Asylum or other cities, like maybe you have to go to Metropolis or something like that. Like the Batwing is actually used to travel distances beyond Gotham City. So you got to keep that in mind. Like maybe we'll be able to travel to Arkham Asylum and there's no physical way to get there besides a plane or a boat, which, you know, could have the Batboat, but we're probably not going to have any boat type vehicle at all. I mean, we already saw how the Batmobile rises from the lake, which looks so cool. But I think they should stick with having a Batwing that only can fly to places beyond Gotham City, like Metropolis, Star City, or to keep it, you know, Batman-related, Arkham Asylum. I pretty much mentioned all the vehicles that Batman could drive. I mean, we have the Batmobile, and we have the Batwing. Batman could have a Bat motorcycle, but I doubt he will. I mean, sort of like how he had that in the you know, Nolan trilogy. He could have a motorcycle like that, but I doubt it. That's the kind of motorcycle I think Harley Quinn or Red Hood would drive. So one thing I want to talk about is maybe they could do this. This would be pretty lazy, especially because they pushed the game back 6 months. I don't feel like they're going to be doing this, but maybe all the Batman family characters will just use the Batmobile also. So when you're playing as Robin and you're roaming around Gotham City as Robin, you just get to call the Batmobile and everything's the same. Now, that wouldn't be fun because Batman doesn't really let anybody drive it, you know? I don't think I saw anybody in like any version of Batman's universe ever drive the Batmobile who wasn't Batman. I mean, we never see Nightwing or Robin, or definitely not Red Hood, drive the Batmobile. Red Hood, depending on the relationship between Batman and Red Hood, I don't know if that, like, if they do stick with the idea of, like, you know, the Batman family characters driving the Batmobile also, I think Red Hood would still have to have his own vehicle, because Red Hood and Batman don't have the best relationship, so depending on what it's like in this game will depend on the factor of if he'll actually drive the Batmobile. But for instance, Nightwing and Robin, maybe they will just be driving the Batmobile because they're family. They're family with Batman, and so is Red Hood, but you know, like I said, it's kind of iffy. So possibly Nightwing and Nightwing and Robin will just be able to drive the Batmobile. I would feel like that's kind of lazy. I think Nightwing could also have a motorcycle. I mean, like, I could just see a decked out motorcycle for everything, and they would have to make it look different, but it could still work. So to recap everything, this is how I think it's going to work. I think we're going to have many playable characters such as Batman, Robin, Nightwing, Catwoman, Harley Quinn, and others. And I think every character who's not Batman is going to have a motorcycle or some other vehicle like that, because it has to be decked out. Some decked out vehicle they must have, because if it's not decked out, then it won't be able to do everything that the Batmobile could do, and you need to have everything the Batmobile could do to, you know, roam around Gotham City. One very last issue that I could think like that maybe could be a problem is if there is a playable character who is a villain, but who is a villain like Clayface, Killer Croc, or Bane. I don't think they're gonna do this. To be honest, I don't think they're gonna do this. I mean, we had Harley Quinn as a playable character, which is awesome, and we're probably gonna have other playable characters who are villains, but I don't think we're gonna be having a playable character who is like Killer Croc or Bane, because how the hell, let's say for some reason, I don't know why, Killer Croc is a playable character. How the hell would he travel around Gotham City? The only thing I can think of is like sort of like how you had the Batwing, like he just goes down to one of the sewer pipes and you just like travel around through the sewer pipes in like an animation type thing, and you pop up in another area of the city. That would honestly be pretty cool. I mean, that just popped up in my head as I'm talking right now. So like, imagine this, like you're playing as Killer Croc, I don't know why, you're in Gotham City, and you call up the Batwing. You don't really call up the Batwing, but you press a button like AAX for some reason. He literally is an animation where he just travels down to one of the sewer pipes, because there's always sewer pipes everywhere. That's the easiest thing they could do. And all you see is him swimming really fast because he's a croc, and pops up another sewer pipe really far away. And that could work, but you know, each character would have some unique way to travel somewhere else. But I don't think we're going to be having playable characters like that. I mean, maybe the Arkham Knight is going to be a playable character, maybe. But then again, he could just have a motorcycle or like a helicopter or something. So that pretty much wraps up today's video. I mean, I talked about pretty much every vehicle I could think of. I mean, there's cars, there is motorcycles, there are planes, there are helicopters, but there's really nothing else besides something that is already made. You can't just grab a random cop car and drive around Gotham City like GTA, because you need something that has weapons attached to it. So my question for you today is, what playable characters are going to have vehicles to use, and what vehicles do you think they will have? So what vehicle do you think that Robin, Nightwing, Catwoman, Red Hood, Harley Quinn, etc. will be able to use in the game? Answer that question in the comment section down below, and if you could please like this video. If you can get over 100 likes, I will upload episode 21 possibly in the next few days. I'm planning on uploading it probably Tuesday or Wednesday, but if you get 100 likes, I'll upload it right away. So that's today's video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm Tommy from Z&D Comics, and you have a great day.
Ready, aim, fire.